français, c'est pas mal, mais c'est pas parfait. Alors, merci pour Jean-Prem. On va traduire pour Carol et Karine. And as they say, aux États-Unis, off to a good start. Right? Anyway, so, Bound Lotus. It is a, how do we say, a legendary Kriya in the pantheon of Kundalini Yoga. I don't know, how long have you been doing the Kundalini Yoga? Anybody? 4, yeah, I see 4, I see 4. 9 months. 10 months. Okay, so and so month ici, huh? Like here on Quebec. When you travel perhaps to a larger event, to a festival like you had here, but there are even larger festivals. Maybe you know or have heard of. There's one in Europe, festival Kundalini Yoga in Europe, in France actually. So French speakers, they know. But also in New Mexico. There's every year a gathering, and also a Satnam festival, which is, I was just here in the Berkshires in August. In Massachusetts. Les montagnes de Berkshires. Les petites montagnes de Berkshires. Anyway. So when you go to these places, you meet other yogis and they'll talk, and there's other teachers and they'll talk to you. And one of the things that sometimes you'll hear about or you see get offered is Bound Lotus. What is Bound Lotus? Oh, okay, where are we? So, what is lotus, right? It's a posture. It's very simply a posture. But it's also a very deep meditation. So from the standpoint of it being a posture, do you know lotus posture? Lotus, half lotus, do you want to show us?
I can't do it.
Is there somebody here? Jai Prem? Jai Prem? Yeah, just right there. That's, okay. So, très simple. Ça c'est lotus. Okay. Génial. Very nicely done. That's good.
Thank you.
And Jai Prem, how long have you been practicing yoga?
Since the age of 17.
Okay, so you've practiced Hatha yoga, I'm guessing, and other forms of yoga, not
I've
just.
been a ballerina too.
And you've been a ballerina, obviously, right? So to dance, whether you're a ballerina or an acrobat, or an athlete of any kind. If you're a runner, what do? You stretch, right? So stretching the body and having open hips allows you to get into lotus posture, right? And if it's comfortable for you, you sit there. Now, if it's not comfortable for you, you have to be very careful, because how do we say? We do not want the sins of the knees to pay for the sins of the hips. Okay, right? Because the hips, it's a ball and socket. Your femur comes up into the pelvis and the hip socket, and it has greater mobility. If I were to lie on the ground, I'll show you what I mean. So the hip, right, so if I put my leg up here, I can do this, I can do this, right? This is my hip movement. My knee does this. My knee just does the one thing, and I'm very grateful it does the one thing. If it was doing this, I'd have a real problem. So, you understand what I'm saying? So the hip has to be, because if this is flexible, if the hip is open, then the knee's going to be fine. The danger is when the hip is not open, but the ego wants the posture bad. You know what I'm saying? People, or you're just in a rush, or you're not thinking, or you didn't warm up enough. Do you know? Does that make sense? That's the danger. So what we're going to be doing is a lot of warm-ups. It's all about the warm-ups. It's all about the hips. It's all about the hips. It's all about the shoulders. That's what the posture is. The only reason I got into this posture and started doing it is I went to my teacher, and she said to me, well, I said, oh yeah, my hips and my shoulders. I would always go to her and talk about, oh, my hips are bothering me, my shoulders are bothering me. And she just looked at me and said, okay, download this. I know. I was like, what's that? I said, oh, okay, look it up. It's this. Now go, and then you're trying to, and you're like, oh, that's not going to, how do you do that? Like, that doesn't, that didn't work. Or if we were Lotus, and then you're like, oh God, where does this go? So I was like, okay, I'll do that. Because it just gave me an excuse to open my hips and my shoulders. Those were the things I was complaining about. Now, when we talk about issues in the body, we were just talking about this the other day. What does it men try to do? They try to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. Women can do that too. They're not alone, but that's the masculine quality. Whether it's in a woman or a man, it's just a masculine thing to want. Oh, I'm Atlas, so I'm carrying the weight of the world. Right? Isn't Atlas the? Yeah, Atlas the weight. So that's a cosmic meme or an iconic thing. So very often we as mere mortals try to repeat that, or we've learned that behavior. Now with women, I don't have to tell you, there are a lot of issues surrounding the hips, right? That's, it's very primal. It's connected to birthing, it's connected to motherhood, it's connected to self-image, it's connected to self-worth, it's connected to the root chakra, which is fear and security, right? Again, very primal. Not that men don't have issues down, in their root as well, but I think the hips in particular, more women, more feminine, because that is where we come into the world, and that's up here more masculine. But it can be both, and it can be either. So when we address the posture, that's what we're doing. We're opening the hips, we're opening the shoulders, so that we can get out of our own way. Right? Because those things that are closed off inside of us we were not born closed with the hips and with the tension in the hips and the weight in the shoulders no, we weren't born that way. We've acquired stuff through our life. We've acquired the wisdom of experience through living. And sometimes we get hurt and we hang on to that hurt, or we get blocked and we hang on to that block, or we're just so busy doing something else we're not paying attention to just general maintenance, right? Because if we brush our teeth every morning, yeah? I hope. Anybody not brushing their teeth? We'll talk after. Okay, but so yes, you're brushing your teeth. But are you specifically saying, okay, how's my body doing today? Do you have time to do that before you rush out the door to get to work, to get to the kids to school, to do the, whatever's on your to-do list for the day? Like, that gets shrunk out of our daily regimen. But, really to our own peril, parce que we can get ailments over time, disease. It does not, when our hips are open and we're stretched and we've just done a great yoga class and we lie in Shavasana, it's like, right, it's a beautiful space. But when we're all jangled after work and we're like, oh, give me a coffee, give me a drink, give me a coffee, give me a drink. Right? Perhaps some of you have even tried this. I know I have. Okay? In fact, I didn't get back into yoga and deep into my practice until after I was done with my graduate work in fine art. Because that was it. That was, coffee in the morning, beer at night. Coffee in the morning, wine at night, right? And then it was like, wait a minute, I finished the program, I stepped back, I started to look at my life, what did I want my life to be, how was I going to, and I took a step back and said, wait a minute, I started practicing yoga, this yoga, the Kundalini Yoga, and wow, this really feels good. I feel better doing this yoga than I do after a drink. And I thought, okay, well, let me stop drinking. Oh, okay, I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. But what I really want is to get back into that space of my practice. And one of the most beautiful spaces you can go to is in the bound lotus. And why? Because we're onions. Imagine you are an onion. Imagine, hold yourself right, and you peel back the layer. And then you peel back another layer, and another layer, and another, until finally you disappear. The onion was there. It's still there. It's just not burdened by all the layers of stuff. The idea, you become your own breath. You disappear into your own consciousness through your breath. Because you've eliminated all this tension. You're just, if you can put yourself into this posture and then relax. There was an old film with Paul Newman? Paul Newman? You guys know him? Actor, American?
Yes. Salad dressing.
No, Je suis monteur. It was Robert Redford. But you know him too.
Yes.
Okay, right. So it was called The Candidate. Connais? Connais ce film? Okay, so the whole film is about running for office. He's the candidate running for office. And at the end of the film, he wins the office. And he gets into the limousine with his campaign manager. He looks out the window, looks at the campaign manager. He says, now what? So you could be sitting there trying to get into this posture, and finally you get into this posture. Now what? I'm here, I made it, I'm in the posture. Now what? Wow, I did it, I'm in the posture. Okay, great. What are you going to do in the posture? Disappear. Because the posture is like a real struggle. It's not, alright, sure. So, we're going to warm up, and I'll be honest, I don't practice with a turban on. I don't wear anything. I wear my, yoga pants, and because no one's watching me. All I care about is how I feel in the posture. Can I find that place of the quiet center, that inner peace? That's all yoga is anyway, right? It's a connection where we take our finite selves and we connect ourselves with the infinite. Right? That's from Sanskrit word which means to yoke. That's what yoga is, to yoke my finite self. What is my finite self? Well, I'm a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a doctor, a lawyer, a dishwasher, whatever I might do as my finite self on planet Earth. Okay. Now, through the practice, through connecting with my breath and my body and my movement, I'm going to have an experience that takes me away from this limited sense of self and identity and connects me to something much greater, to the stars at night, right? The awe and the wonder, the northern lights, the vastness of the Grand Canyon, of the ocean, right? The depths of exploration of my, where do I begin and does the world end? You know, if you, vous êtes française, mes amis, okay? Like you get this, right? It's existentialism, c'est philosophy. I am you, you are me, we are one, right? This is, okay, but we don't need, there's no middleman. You are self-initiating through the practice. You don't need someone to, yes, the teacher will guide you and show you the practice, but you and the practice work it out. It's between finite you and infinite you. What you came here to do in this life, this precious life, this wild moment of existence, that's between you and you. If you can live with yourself by not following your heart, okay, fine. If you must follow your heart, okay, fine. But either way, you've got to work it out between you. This practice is to connect you to you so you can have that, whatever your soul wants to tell you, it can come to you in this space. Clear, direct line. They say praying is when you talk to God. Meditating is when God talks to you. Right? The infant, when you're open, when you're in a receptive state, you can receive the information you need. When you're like, oh God, please, I just need to get to work on time, whatever, right? Okay, fine, maybe things work out, but when you just let go into that sacred space of your practice, then the infinite is available. So what does this look like? I'm going to show you what this looks like and then we'll tune in. So we talk about infinity. Why is this important? Because, so the way infinity is written, it's that sacred symbol of the double helix, which is also the sacred symbol of your own DNA, right? Your DNA, right? That infinite spiral, the double helix, the caducus, do we call it the caducus? Anyone know? The double snakes winding up the staff, the medical symbols, and the medicine.
Oui, comment ça s'appelle? Le serpent.
The caducus.
Ça s'appelle
But again, this is sacred geometry. This is the double helix of the DNA, the genetic code, right, that binds us and connects us to what? Infinity. So the infinity symbol is this. So when we do, what do you see here? There it is. Right? There's infinity symbol 1. Okay, so now if I'm crazy here, hold on. I put you don't have to do this. This is just hashtag pro tip. Okay? Hashtag pro tip. The pro tip is that when there's a little bit of saliva, it's easier to hang onto your toe. You get a little. Okay. So it's all right. The key to the whole thing is to breathe through it and to relax. Now I happen to have chosen to put my left leg on top, so I'm connecting my left arm to my left leg, because whichever foot goes on top, it's going to feel totally different when you put your right foot up, because your body is not like this We wish it was, but it's not. It's different. Each side is different. So again, a little bit, pro tip, just a little bit. You know, when I travel, I don't keep like a little, you know, sushi finger wash thing available to me, so I do use what I have available. And frankly, it's okay to be a little bit, you know, how to say, you gotta do whatever you gotta do to get it done. Like sometimes you go, what do they say? C'est nécessaire de casser des œufs pour des omelettes. See? Okay. C'est ça. So if you take a little saliva to actually catch your toe, you've made the omelet, okay? It may not be for polite society, but this is yoga. And, you know, bodily functions happen, people... Okay, so here I am, right? So, look, now if you look at my back, again, double infinity. Again, because I've created the same loop, but with my arms. And now, so now I'm in this beautiful space of, I'm in the double infinity. So I've wrapped myself into infinity twice. And now I'm going to honor that infinity by taking my head and doing what? I'm going to bow. And by bowing, I'm actually going to place my head beneath my heart, which is not insignificant because the culture, the society, and in our lives, the head rules. We're mental. We're all mental up in the Western world. People don't really speak or communicate through our hearts. In fact, very often we spend our time concealing our heart to ourselves and to others. Oh my God, I don't want them to know how I really feel, right? Or if I speak my truth and tell someone what's in my heart, I'm going to get in trouble, right? So often that is the case. So again, just readjusting. Now you'll notice when I come down, yeah, you see that, right? That's to, when I come up, I pull them together so I can get up. When I come down, and again, I'm not doing this. I'm extending out, I'm bending just like a straight spine, bending from the waist, extending out. And what would you do in this space but breathe? Right? That's all you can do. The mind literally has to shut off because the mind, what does the mind do? The mind is going to make excuse after excuse for why you shouldn't be here. Oh, my left elbow itches, I have to come out. Trust me, your mind is so good at distracting you and coming up with 10,000 itches. It'll make your left elbow itch, literally, just to get you out of that posture, because really what you're in a battle here with is your ego. This can't be good for me. Why would I ever want to do this? Right? That's one voice in your head. And the other is, well, I'm just going to try and I'm going to see how it feels. And so, that's the ideal. That was the ideal of how such a posture would look. The real could be this. Just an easy pose, right? It's not, the ideal is what you're striving towards. The real is what you have today. So it could just be something very simple like this. And even that could be challenging for you. Just to sit for 5 minutes like that. Again, your mind is going to come up with all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't. We'll get to it. Let's tune in. Yeah? Again, once you're in it, you say to yourself, what am I doing? Now what? Right? Just, now what? So that's why we tune in. We tune in again, Om Namo, I bow, right? Om Namo, I bow. Om is the infinite manifested world. So we resonate the upper conch. So the Om, you should feel that vibration in your head. It's not Om. That's the unmanifested universe. This is Om. We're in physical form now. We're dealing with the world. So we're vibrating this space in our head that stimulates our pituitary gland. And when we bow, we stimulate our third eye, our pituitary gland. So there's this wisdom that is accessible when we're bowing and stimulating that point. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, we chant 3 times with a deep breath in between each. There. Okay. Anyone never tuned in before? You guys have all tuned in. Okay. Fantastic. So inhale, bring your hands together in prayer pose. And exhale. And just breathe long and deep now. Inhaling, sound sat. Exhaling, sound nam. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And on your next inhale, bring your thumbs up to the third eye and suspend the breath there. Spine is straight, navel is engaged. And exhale, the hands back to the heart. And continue breathing long and deep. Keep your focus at your mind's eye, your third eye, the center for your intuition. We'll tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, chanted 3 times with a deep breath in between each. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Just rest against the back of your knees and just breathe. Good. Inhale. And open your eyes. Okay. So ready to do a little warming up, a little moving, a little breathing. I should say just a few more things. When I spoke to Kieran Joe, she said that there was some intimidation with the prospect of download, but I can't get into the posture, right? like that. Of course you can. No one can get into the posture when they try to get it, right? Like that's not a thing. Like you see somebody, I love stuff. Anyone watch Instagram sometimes? Quelquefois? Petit peu, no? So one of the coolest things I like on Instagram, and one of the reasons I like it, is because you see a lot of yogis. Yoga is a beautiful visual medium. Like when you see someone fully executing a posture that you're like, there's no way. Like I don't care. I still think it's beautiful and I love to watch it. I admire the strength and the courage. But what's dangerous is if you think, oh my God, that's it, I'll never do it. Right? But what I love is when someone posts the before and the after. The 2017 and the 2019 shot. And you see, oh, wow. Like these little side-by-side video clips where they're like, they were just starting to work their way into their handstand. You know, like, I don't have a handstand down. I'm still working with my headstand, you know, and before that, I never even did that because that wasn't even a thing in Kundalini Yoga, and that's my main practice. And, you know, so I just started hanging out with some Ashtangi yogis and some hot yogis, and they were like, oh, let me show you a headstand. This is how you do. And it's like, you think it's impossible till someone actually shows you you can do it. Like they say, oh, well, I can't do it, you know. So the moral of that story is don't quit before you start. Like, you don't know what's possible until you explore the possibilities, right? It may seem totally impossible, but really, like, I didn't know I was going to be able to do a headstand. Like, I just thought, no, that's like, I don't know, I'll never show you. I did like one little headstand workshop. The next thing I knew, and now I practice it. Now I can do it. I don't need a wall, right? I'm not going to go do it on a cliff with the wind blowing. I thought about it. I thought better of it. I didn't do that. But I don't need a wall. I just need a flat road and I can do that. So, you know, we've got to start somewhere, otherwise you're nowhere, right? And I've got 100 different cliches that I can throw out here to you to help you understand that really you just have to give yourself the opportunity. And the only way that I started on this journey, well, there are a couple things. One, I went to my teacher, I said, what should I do? She said, this. Okay. I had no idea what that was. I tried it. I was like, wow, that's hard. Okay, I like a challenge. That's my personality. And part of it, and this is part of my journey with this, is my ego. It's like, well, it's hard. I want to do the hard thing. I want everyone to know how good I am. Wow. So you start doing the down lotus, right? And then you're like, if you want to master a thing, do it for 1,000 days. Well, okay. So now, like, I'm all in. Like, okay, I'm going to do this hard thing for 1,000 days, you know, and then you get so into it that it's just your daily practice and you're so used to it, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm going to keep going. But at a certain point, it's like, dude, you're falling asleep in the posture. It's not hard for you anymore. You know, you're just like counting up, you know, you're just like going to compare notes with the guy at the other guy at the gathering who's, you know, and he's like, well, I've done it for 3,000 days. I'm like, oh my God, really? You know, every time I see the guy, how many days is it now? I'm like, I don't know, man. I stopped, you know, but like your ego gets so invested in this idea of like, wow, this is my practice, and are you kidding? Really? This is the point of it? You know, what's the point of doing this practice if you wind up being an asshole? I'm so great, right? Like I built up the spiritual. Yes, it's a beautiful practice, but the whole point of the practice is so that it's for you. It's not for anybody else. It's not to count. It's not to compare. It's for you. It's just for you to be you. And that's all anyone or the universe wants is for you to be you. So, let's start with how we connect with the earth. When Yeah, we can do some Kriyas and stuff, but I just want to talk about warm-ups in general and how and it has to do with connecting with our body, right? And what, where, and how we feel comfortable. So, anytime, like some days, I am gung-ho. I'm ready to roll and like, you know those days. You got your energy and you're ready and you're just doing it. Like, some days you're like, oh my God, like I can barely sit on this mat, let alone do what I'm thinking about doing. So you got to start somewhere. And one of the best places to start is with your feet. All right, when was the last, just quick survey, when was the last time you actually sat down and rubbed your feet properly? Every day, okay. You do it every day.
I do.
Okay, she's surprised.
Yeah, because I learned reflexology.
Oh, okay. So she's actually studied reflexology is the study of understanding where the meridians, the nerve meridians, lead from your feet. So they are connected in Chinese medicine and acupuncture, acupressure. The nerve meridians lead to specific organs and regions of the body. So your liver, your heart, your lungs, your shoulders, right, are all laid out in a map. You can Google it, it will come up. And it's a very useful guide because if you experience like a spot that's very tender or hard or that you don't want to rub, or like if someone rubs your feet and you're like, oh my God, don't touch me there, right? That indicates that you should examine that part of your body and say, hey, what's going on with my liver? Have all those gin and tonics over the years finally caught up with me? Maybe I need to address, because my liver meridian is really triggered when I touch it, even with slight pressure. So you need to pay attention to that. That's an early warning sign for things that are going on elsewhere in your body. Okay, that's important. The other thing is, it helps you relax. And if you're going to explore your body through yoga, right, you need to be able to open up and you need to relax. So the key, everyone just give me a big sigh. Even deeper, just right. So our breath is so important because we tend to breathe very shallowly, especially if we feel under pressure or something's going on that's difficult or challenging, then we forget to breathe, right? Even the CNN anchor will tell someone to breathe. Right? If there's something going on, breathe. If you're in the middle of a hurricane, breathe. Okay? So not that you need CNN to confirm what you already know, of course, but I use it as an example. So again, that's a great place to start your practice, is just opening up your feet and saying hello to them, because when we are able to relax, right, through our feet, then it helps us relax our breath and our joints, and so that's where we want to be. So let's begin. One of my favorite postures is just the Sufi Grind, right? So in any yoga you're gonna do is gonna be very useful to you, but primarily it's about opening the hips and opening the shoulders and opening the heart. Right? These are all important and beautiful ways to do so. They call this Sufi Grind. And very often you'll begin a yoga set with this. It can be just a warm-up. And you want to breathe. You want to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. It can be very slow. It doesn't have to be quick. But again, all you want to do is open your back, your lower back, and just through this movement. And it's very personal, it's very individualized what you're doing. Because this is where you're going to feel any blocks, you're going to feel any challenges you might have, you're going to feel in this space. So very slowly, very beautifully, just open yourself up here in your hips, right? And from a cultural perspective, you can see the hips are, wow, they're very loaded, they're charged, they're a trigger for people. So inhale, center. Exhale, and reverse. Reverse the movement. So now we're going in the opposite direction with our Sufi Grind. So when I say the hips are a trigger culturally, I think of someone like Elvis. Connais Elvis Presley? Right? And what was it he did? He shook those hips and oh my God, the minister almost fell out of the pulpit because that man was shaking his hips and now he was going to bring the devil out of the children because they were moving their head. You know what I'm saying, right? So what's the better solution? Not move the hips? Be blocked? Is sciatica the solution for not dancing? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're not... so it's a cultural trigger. I think very often the culture is afraid of movement of energy and ideas. Right? If we're speaking freely and moving freely and open in our consciousness and our awareness, then we're not so easily told what to do, right? Whether it's by the government or by the church or by whoever it is that wants to dominate with their ideas over your ideas, their opinions over your opinions. One of the first things that happens in India when the ancient cultures conquered is they would burn all the yogic texts. Because people who were not able to practice yoga were much easier to rule. So inhale, center. Exhale. So we're going to continue now. One of my favorite things to do next is something that looks like, again, we're going to explore and experiment and find out what, right? So you can turn side. Fun story. Very often in Kundalini, in Kundalini Yoga, we talk about the Kriya and following the Kriya. I don't know, do you guys encounter this? Yes, no, yes. Yes, yes. And these Kriyas are given in a very specific way, and you do in the order. But that does not mean you can't take any piece of that Kriya out and examine what it looks like for you on its own as a posture. That also does not mean that you cannot take specific Kriyas or parts of Kriyas that are relative to what you're working on in your body and do them in whatever order feels good to you. Right? Because you are a master too. Yogi Bhajan did not come to create students. Yogi Bhajan came, do you know about Yogi Bhajan? Yes, he came to create teachers. And on your path to being a teacher or being your own teacher, like the I Ching or the Wei Wu Wei talks about, what are you sitting around waiting for a teacher? Go pick up a stick and kick your own butt. Right? It's always within your own capability to figure it out too on your own. It's okay if it's not exactly right. When you're The Kriyas are great, follow them, do them. But within the Kriyas are also things that you can discover for yourself and experiment with on your own. I give you full license and right to do that. Okay? And I'm just going to make you repeat after me. Je suis un maître.
Je suis un maître.
Je suis
Un
un
maître.
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 Je suis un
Je
maître.
suis un maître. Period.
Point.
Point.
That's it.
Sans doute.
Sans doute.
Okay, again. Je suis
Point.
sans doute.
Sans doute.
Or if you want to try it in English, I am a master.
I am a master.
Period. No question.
No question. Or no doubt.
No doubt, no question, sans question, sans doute, point, je suis un maître.
Je suis un maître.
Of course you are. You're here in 2019 practicing this ancient form of yoga. Honor yourself, honor your mastery, right? Does that mean you're a master all the time? Well, no, none of us are. We're still here. Even Yogi Bhajan would, get mad and throw things in the back of the limousine and tell his driver, Guru Singh, and say, yeah, I feel like being human right now. Okay, great. So if you're a master 10% of the time, fantastic. If you're a master 30 minutes out of the day, great. If you're a master 30 seconds out of the day, great. If you're a master all day, every day, fantastic. Good for you. Why gooder? Right? So I give you full, and as a master, you have the right to explore any part of the teachings in your own way, in your own time, and understand them. So if you take a mantra and you don't do it with the specific meditation, that's okay. You want to chant it while you're walking, that's okay. You want to try the meditation without the mantra, see how it works, that's okay too. You want to try things in different orders, see how it feels. Does it feel different? If nothing else, it's going to teach you why they're in order in the Kriya. But you are a master, so you have the right to explore your body, the teachings, and your consciousness using the tools available to you all the time, every day, and find lessons wherever they come up in your life. It could be on pop radio, it could be from your daughter, it could be from your boss, it could be if you drove to Toronto. But you could find, truth and wisdom in the dandelion and in the jet plane. It doesn't matter. You're the master. You're in control. This is your life. It's your destiny. Your infinity. Own it. Live it. And when I say that, I'm saying my experience with Bound Lotus is if I just did the Kriyas in the Bound Lotus book, I would never have gotten to do Bound Lotus. I needed to not only do that, but then I needed... So this is the thing that you're going to see in the Kriya. They're going to say, do this. Okay? That's great. That's a lovely... It's called Life Curve Stretch. We're going to do that. But before I even get to that, I want to say to you, let's explore all the variations, right? So I'm not just saying, okay, let's do this. I'm saying, let's do this. I don't know what this is called. I made it up. But it sure feels good, and it's a great way to open my hips, because that's where a lot of my stuff was living, in my hips. And I still, every day, I do this stretch to get it out. And you can reverse, right? You can go to the other side and say, okay, wow, what's that? Right? Because now we're using the leverage of our body. Right? Doesn't that feel good? And it's gentle, and it's a sideways way to get into the pose. I cheat. I always cheat. I don't cheat myself, but I'm sure I'm going to find a way to get it done if it needs to get done. And it needs to get done. Don't let anybody say, well, it has to be dot, 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 dot. It has to be whatever it is for you. What works for you. If that hurts for you, don't do that. If it feels good, do that. Because again, the goal is to open things up, to explore, to experiment, to discover, and to release. So yeah, as you're doing that, then you're going to find that when we do come and do this, you're going to be much more open, right? That now it's right because we're coming from here. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to cheat. I want you to explore, experiment, and discover for yourself what it is. And when I say I cheat, I was in grad school, so keep stretching, keep opening, keep moving, keep breathing. When I was in graduate school, we had this assignment to do a painting outdoors. And the way the assignment was set up, I never felt like I had enough time to get the assignment done. I knew, being an outdoor painter myself, that I needed more than the 1 hour class or the 2 hour class. So I would show up an hour early, start the painting, and then by the time class was done, finish. And so one day the other student who had showed up when the class started and didn't finish her painting went to the instructor and said, "He cheats." And the instructor looked at me, smiled, and said, "I know." So I assure you, Yogi Bhajan would be happy if you are cheating and not doing but discovering what it means and how it relates to you and your body. Right? Because this is all that matters. So this is where I usually start in my personal stretching. Another place I go is, so let's do that. Let's go here, and let's go all the way down. Inhale up, exhale, and go as deep as you can, and hold, and open, right? But we're not going into it cold. We've already stretched and warmed, and now, So lengthen and deepen the breath. Go a little bit further. Each inhale, the spine is a little straighter. Each exhale, you pull yourself a little deeper. Good, and just go a little further, a little more, a little deeper. And inhale, exhale, pull yourself a little deeper. Nice, and roll up slowly. And switch sides. Again, lengthen and deepen the breath. Each inhale, the spine gets a little straighter. Each exhale, we're pulling ourselves further and further to the floor. Inhale deeply. Exhale, pull yourself further down. Exhale, hold the breath out. And inhale yourself up. Fun fact. On Vimeo, there is a 13-minute video of me doing down lotus warm-ups. So If at any point, just remember this exists. So if at any point you, I'm going to let this guide us, this is fun. If at any point you want to do this on your own, just email me and I'll send you the link, or Google Harnam Bound Lotus Warm-Ups, which is what I just did, and they came up. So, duly noted. Okay, let's stand up. Great, so we did a little bit shake. That was fun, right? Yeah. So now let's do this. Right, so we're just gonna, do the Elvis thing. Oh yeah, Elvis. Oh yeah, so where's the ballerinas in the room, the dancers? That was Jai Prem. The Jai Prem, okay. So this makes me want to do this, right? Like doing this little thing we're doing right now. If you want to go over here and go, oh God, someone show me the wall, right? Show me the what do they call the thing? The bar. Someone show me the bar. So like when you're standing in the kitchen and you're talking on the phone, right? You're doing this, right? Just because you can. It doesn't matter that you hear your mom's voice saying, get your foot off the kitchen counter. Right? No, you're going to, right? That's okay. That's okay. You can do it. I give you permission. It's called cheating. Right? Because why? We live in a crazy world. It's a crazy time. There's so many demands on our time, and our time for ourselves is so little that we need to, I know they say multitasking. What's the other phrase? Switch tasking. But literally, you could be on the phone and doing this, right? And it's super important because we need to just, right? And if you think of, we're battling years of cultural, there I said it. Years of cultural shit that gets accumulated, shutting us down, telling us we're not good enough, telling us we can't. So every time we open, we're peeling back those layers of the onion, right? Just to get to like pure, no, I'm perfect. I am a master. Point. Je suis un maître. Point. Sans doute. Sans question. Je suis un maître. Point. Exclamation point. Yes. Okay. Right. So we're good. We can roll with this. I give it up for Guru Singh on that. I got that from him. So next time you see him, you can say, I'm a master. Period. No question. We'll know it.
Sorry, I missed what you just said. You got that
from Guru Singh.
Guru Singh.
He is very tall. He's a well-known teacher, very well-known teacher from Los Angeles. Okay, fantastic. So let's do something that looks like this, right? Windmills. You guys know windmills? Moulin à vent. Les moulins à vent. Ouais. Moulin à vent.
Yes.
Okay, so show me your moulin à vent. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Nice straight spine. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Oh yeah. Right? Doesn't that feel good? Super fun. And if you're feeling it in your, you should be, right? So your legs are as wide as you can. But yeah, I feel this. I still feel this every time I go down. It's my sciatic nerve, right? My right leg. I feel that. That shit is real. It's there. It's there for all of us, okay? So this is what we're doing. We're dealing, right? That's all down lotus is opening your hips, opening your shoulders, right? And one day you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I can do this. That's what happened to me. I should watch my language. I apologize. But yes, one day I woke up and I was I was in teacher training. I was someone, and I could do the posture. I'd been trying for months and months and months and months, and I woke up and I could do it. And so the way I didn't just say, oh, okay, now I can do it, I'm done. I said, now let me go deeper into that. Now I have to honor the fact that I can actually get in this thing and do it. So a little bit more. Okay, and inhale up. So now we're going to work a little on the shoulders. Right, so inhale to the left, exhale to the right. So. Yeah, and you should feel that. Your shoulders should feel that. Your feet are on the ground, they're not moving. If you took my Mandala workshop at the festival in Quebec City, you remember this is also good for drawing paintings. You just hang on to them and you, yeah, no, anybody? You just hold your painting and you carry it. And they're nice and high. Up high, right? They're not down by your waist. Because we're working on the shoulders. And your shoulders connected to your heart. So this is really all about your heart. We think it's about our hips and our shoulders, but it's really all about our heart. Because what I want is this practice to follow you home and transform your life. And what it does is it allows you to live from your heart. Okay, inhale, center. Exhale, bring your hands up. Beautiful. And we're going to do, what do we call this, miracle bend? Sounds right to me. So inhale, straight. So what you want to do here is tuck your tailbone under. I believe is the phrase. Je sais pas en français. Sure, tuck it under. But it's not out here, it's over here, right? And your navel's engaged. And you're just all the way up. Straight, exhale forward. And you're coming from your hips. So wiggle your hips when you're down here for a little. How's that feel? Okay, we good with that? Okay, now we're going all the way up and we're going to bend back. Head forward. We're going to do a few of these. Beautiful. And back, up, and continue. Just all the way up, all the way back. It's called a miracle bend. So really strength, lengthening and deepening the stretch, connecting the movement to the breath. Yes, yes, yes. Right? Inhaling sucked, exhaling numb. Go all the way back. Don't hurt yourself, but go tuck you a little bit further each time. Just a little bit. Just opening the breath, opening the body. That's all we're doing. Opening the breath, opening the body. Beautiful. Okay, last time. And then exhale down. Beautiful. Okay, so how's down dog feel to you guys? You guys, little old school down dog? So there's a wonderful little kriya I love in Kundalini Yoga. It's called Sarabandanda Kriya. It's like self-contained, really quick. You can do it on your own. It's an amazing thing. It looks like this. So you're going to inhale yourself up onto your toes, like a down dog. And then you exhale. Your heels to the ground, right, as far as they'll go. You see mine don't quite get there. And you can play around in the space and kind of open, but it looks like this. So inhale up, exhale down, and then you're going to leverage yourself down and pull yourself up. So, I know, it takes a little, but there's a way to modify. So you can modify. Inhale up, exhale down, and then if you need to come down and do that, you can. But essentially we're moving between down dog and up dog, but we're using a little bit of strength, as much strength as available to you to get there. Does that make sense?
It looks like a salutation to the sun too, I find, aren't you?
Yeah, but this is Not quite. So inhale. So if you watch Leela's up, so inhale back up onto your, again, inhale up onto your toes. Inhale up. Exhale, let your heels go down. And then use a little bit of strength, if you can, to bring yourself up and through. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale down. Exhale up. And continue. If you need your knees, you use them. You're good, you're good. This is good. Just a little bit of this. Right? We need our strength. We need chi and prana, grace, vitality. This is how it happens. When we move through, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but yeah, it forces us into our hips. Just a few more. Just a few more. Oh, just a few more. Okay. Give me one more good one. One more good one, everyone? Yeah? Okay, beautiful. And pop up. Let's do some frogs. Because it's no fun if we're not doing frogs. C'est pas une partie sans frog. Comment les frogs? Non.
La grenouille. La grenouille.
La grenouille, c'est pas une partie sans le grenouille.
Mais ça marche fun? Are you trying to say it's not fun? C'est pas un party, c'est not a party.
Yeah.
C'est pas un party.
Okay, so frogs, we have to be careful in frogs. We have to look out for our knees. If it's too much to come all the way down, then you need to modify and maybe only come down here, or even if you're just going to squat. But if you can do it, it looks like this. The heels are off the ground. You're going to inhale yourself up, exhale. So inhale, exhale. And we're just going to do, let's do 21. What do you say? Yeah? So we'll count together. 1, 2, everybody. 3, 4, thank you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, thank you. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Get down. All right, inhale up. And shake it out. Okay. So that was fun.
Real party, huh?
Vrai fête. Oh, Mardi Gras. Okay. So called Mardi Gras, right? Lunde Gras, Mardi Gras, Gras Gras, Foie Gras. En français, c'est parfait. Okay. All right, so wait, someone left. She'll come back. How are we? Le monde est bon? So ça va? Ça va? Okay. Okay. So now it comes to it. All right, we're going to get into some of the grittier stretches. You're all warmed up. The circulation is good. Take your little sip of. Take the sip of water. Okay. Okay. So, this always killed me. I was dating a woman who could do this, and it made me crazy. I was like, all right, I've got to do this. This is like, what's the thing? What's the thing? So we're back into the hips. Now we're going to go side to side. You can use the length of your mat. I'll just show you what's happening. So we did one side, the other side. Now we're going to do both sides. Right? And then we come. So I do that a few times, and then I just come into my, really get with my sit bones. Right? And now, again, you're straightening the spine. you want to create the space where you can hinge from your spine. And you can just go and you can drop yourself down, you can drop yourself all the way down.
Sure.
But this is the work. Trust me, I could not always do that. Trust me, I would get here and stop too. But how do we get past that? That's the cheating, right? That's the cheating. Yes, you see how she's moving? She knows that there's range beyond where she's at. So you're a man, right? So we ask ourselves, what is it? What is it? What is holding us back? And trust me, it's not what you think it is. It's not the sore muscle or the auto accident that I was in, right? These are just manifestations of the deeper block. The deeper block is maybe something that happened when you were much younger. I see some, the fear, the repetition of things that were untrue that you believed as a child. These are the things that really hold us back. We might believe it's, yeah, I was in a car accident, my shoulder's sore, so now I can't do that, I'm not even going to try. But we can always heal. There's always a space for healing and possibility. And one thing I would suggest is, can we partner up? I'd like to, yeah, because I want you to understand, will you guys partner up, you guys partner up, you guys partner up. So, Leela, will you just come up here real quick and show, we're going to, like, if you push down, right, so let's say you're here, but if you gently push on, right, the lower back to help, right, that is a thing. You want to be gentle, you want to be careful with each other, but it's your lower, wherever you're stuck. So gentle pressure, and you're going to take turns doing this, so no one's, right, they'll let you know. They'll say,
what's the safe word?
you tap out. Safe word is, okay, we have a safe word. The safe word is Bonaparte. Right? Yeah. So, if you're feeling the pressure, you need to breathe, right? You need to just gently, long and deep breathing. And what you want to do is you want to apply the pressure when they're exhaling, right? So and then you want to apply as much as they can take, and you need to talk to each other. And if it feels good, then you receive that. If it hurts, then you stop. As much as you can take. You want to keep the spine as straight as possible, right? Okay, good. Now switch. Okay, no, do more. Yeah, do more. Good. I want you to get it. This is how we do it. We must open. We must help each other. We must support each other. Right? Do you feel it? Do you feel what's happening with the pressure? Does it help? It's good. Okay, so it's up to you guys. When you're ready, switch it out. Again, you can use the length of your mat. Yeah, if she can go deeper, then you can push a little bit deeper. Be gentle, be gentle. She'll tell you if she wants you to push up, further up the spine, that's fine. And then we're all feeling this, right? We all have the sciatic nerve. So person who is being touched, then speak to the person who's touching you and ask for what you need. To go deeper, more pressure, less pressure, whatever it is. Okay, beautiful. So when you're ready, come back up. Good. Come back to your mats. We've got a few more little warm-ups we're going to do. So I want to show you, most of what we've done has been focused on the hips, right? But the arms, yeah. And, all right, so pay attention. If you can, so you want to experiment with where you, but that's a good one, right? You feel that? Yeah, it's really good. Really important, really good. So you want to hold that, breathing long and deep. And again, this is the kind of thing, depending on where your body needs to work, you focus the energy there, right? So slow your breath down and just kind of gently apply this pressure to open up that joint, to open up the muscles. Now inhale, exhale, switch sides. And again, same thing, and we're applying the pressure. If you can, keep the arm and the elbow perfectly straight, and you're applying the pressure down closer to, there you go, closer, beyond the elbow point. Right? So that you're stretching back. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. And again, just slowing the breath down. It's all about the breath. So if you're alive, you're under constant pressure. Right? Just like a diamond. This is how diamonds are made. You take the carbon, you put it deep in the earth, and you put it under tons of pressure over millennia, and then the diamond is made. So inhale, exhale. That's what is happening to you as an entity of consciousness, as a soul, as a being here on planet Earth. You've come to learn your lessons, but your lessons are not the easy lessons. Lessons are the hard lessons. So that's the pressure. This is how we push back against the pressure. If we don't push back, what happens? Right? We become a lump on the floor. We're just like, okay, I can't deal. You check out. Right? I'm not ready to check out. How about you? No. You got, right? We got a little bit more to do. I've got more to do. I can't check out, so that means I've got to push back. And when I push back, right, that's putting my oxygen mask on first. Because if I'm pushing back and I'm in my center and my power, then I can help other people. I can tell somebody, with a skin condition working in a Panera Bread bread shop, hey man, try celery juice. Like, it's a, you know, like he's never heard that before, and he's like, what?
Try what?
Celery juice. It's great for...
Try celery juice, sorry.
But you get the idea, like I know what to tell him, I'm empowered to tell him, I'm intimidated to tell him, there's an oxygen mask for you, right? We're doing this, open the hips, open the shoulders, open the heart, right? There's an oxygen mask for you. So, shoulders, this is, what's that thing you see him do, right? These crazy yogi stuff. It's okay, you don't have to do that one yet. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm just trying to get my shirt out of my way. Again, like I don't do this wearing clothes. I take my shirt off and no, and why? Because it's easier not to have clothing in the way.
Tout le monde tout nu, c'est ça qu'on dit? Everybody naked.
Well, I mean, I assure you, the yogis in the Himalayas were not wearing a whole lot of clothes. The people who invented this stuff were not dressing up in Louis Vuitton to do it. So again, you want to get as close as you can. I haven't done this for a long time, and I feel it in my left arm. But you want to lengthen and deepen your breath in the posture as good as you can do. Yeah. Right? That's a great stretch. I haven't done that in a long time. I very much hurt my arm. That's fine. We're good. So again, lengthen and deepen the breath. So inhale. Exhale and switch. Shake it off. And then see how the other arm feels. The other arm might not be as easy as that one, so maybe
You know
you
why?
need
Why? There's always it's shit, right? It's just shit.
Well, you know, your left shoulder might be more stuff going on with your left shoulder than your right shoulder. That's fine. That's definitely fine. But, you know, like, you're not going to know unless you find out, you know, unless you try it. You're like, oh, God. I mean, for years, so with Bound Lotus and the mechanics of it, I was always much easier with my right leg than my left leg on top. But today, I just pulled up and showed you with my left leg on top, and that worked out just fine too, you know? So it's really just a question of when you practice. There you go. So if you need, she's cheating. I love it. I love it. Tell me your name. Mary Michelle has grabbed the strap. And we have straps in the corner. We're going to need the straps. That's okay. Okay, so again, just a few more long, deep breaths in this position to open up the shoulders. Okay, so inhale. Exhale, release. Very good. Okay, so there's just a couple more and then we're going to do this. You feeling good though, right? Right? Like, when was the last time you just stretched and opened up your body for 2 hours? Right? I never do that. Like, I don't have time to do this. I mean, I'm lucky if I get 20 minutes out the door. You know, where are we driving next? Winnipeg. Okay, it's a long drive. I promise I'm not going to be dallying in the morning trying to get out of the hotel or wherever I am. You know, it's like... So that's why we do Kundalini Yoga, because it's powerful and it works on multiple levels, on multiple aspects of our bodies, our minds, and our psyche, our spirit, in addition. You notice in the background I've had a little sound current going, I don't know. Right? That's a sacred Shabad, and if you want to listen to it while you're in Bound Lotus, it will enhance that experience. It'll help you shut off your mind and go deeper into your breath and into your center. Right? Again, layers upon layers upon layers. So I showed you this. You know, like, how can you go wrong with this? This is freaking amazing. I mean, is it easy to do? It's easier if you don't have a bunched up shirt behind you. But yeah, right? Again, just you do your best to get into it and open your breath and your heart while you breathe through this, right? That's a beautiful posture. As close to it as you get is just fine. Fake it till you make it. But the main thing is you're breathing and your heart is open. Good. Now inhale. Exhale. So, pigeon pose. Anyone familiar with that one?
That's what you do with a leg like this, huh?
Yeah, she's going to show you guys how pigeon pose. And again, this is another one where you can partner up and help each other find that way and that place to open. Before we even do that, right? Now, if you bring your, so it's easier to do it if your foot is curled back under.
Yeah, this is easy.
That's much easier. But as you crank that out, now you're really going to feel it. Okay, so that's for you to gauge, experiment, and play with. They're all don't just tuck it under and think you got there, because now you've got to lever it out and go a little further, a little deeper. Before you do it though, I want to show one other thing. That's perfect. You guys are going to partner up and help each other go deeper into the stretch. Before you do it, here's the one you can do on your own, right? Before you even do it. And this is, I believe the word is fou, or complètement fou, right? Okay, because so this, right, we're going to cradle. So just get kind of nice and friendly right there with that hip joint, right? And this is fine. This is beautiful. I can do this and then do the down lotus, but then, like I told you, I started hanging out with these Ashtangi yogis. And next thing you know, we were in a hot room for 2 hours, stretching my little brains out, and I was able to do this.
Wow.
Okay, I didn't expect it. It happened. Right? So now let's switch sides, go to the other side. Again, this spend as much time or as little time with this as possible, but this is the exact same as the pigeon pose. This is what we're going to be. Sure, smell your feet, lick your toes, whatever you got to do. Keep it interesting, whatever it takes, keep it interesting. And at some point, if you decide to get crazy, it's not as hard as it looks. You'd be surprised. And actually, as women, I think your bodies are more, I think it's more possible for you because the hips are designed for open for childbirth. So that's more plausible, I think, for I'm not going to, it might not be today, but it could happen. Hang out with some hot yogis and see what happens. Okay, perfect. Now let's do pigeon pose. Let's partner up and help each other stretch. First we'll do it by ourselves, and then we'll partner up, and then we'll switch. Okay? So again, remember to breathe. The breath is so important. Okay, now inhale yourself up and switch sides. And you'll notice the left side might feel a little different from the right, or vice versa. That's okay. And you can try with your arms by your sides. You can try with your arms straight out in front of you. Again, just, you're a master. Experiment. Discover. Own your power, your strength, your body. And work through your difficulties. Work through your challenges. Beautiful. Now inhale up. Slowly rise. And again, get with your partner. Decide who's going to go first. And then gently support each other. Yeah, gently support each other and go deeper into the stretch.
Ben, ça, c'est l'étape 2. Tu es capable, dans l'étape 1, de mettre tes hanches droites. Non, mais ça, c'est correct.
So when you're at home, this could be your friend, your partner, your daughter, your son who's helping you out with this. Yeah. What do you
Is
say?
the hip supposed to be because now when it's just my heels that makes the arms.
So ideally, so it could be like this, but when you crank this out, then can you see? Right. The hip will be off just a little bit, but it's not about that. It's more about the knees touching. You can, like if this is back, then you're gonna easily get your chest to the floor. But if this is up, then it's more of a challenge and you can feel it in your hip. So I'm more interested in you opening the hip with that challenge, right? That's okay. That's okay. Now that's where she applies the pressure. Gentle pressure.
On the back.
On the lower back. Just to gently. Do you feel that? And you feel that in the hip. So you tell her, does it feel good? Okay, good. You're helping her open. It's gentle. Gentle pressure. Feel how powerful it is to have that help. So just switch the sides when you're ready. Go as deep as you can into the stretch. Now if you can crank that foot up a little, no, stay where you are, that front foot, your pigeon foot.
This one?
Now, yes, there. How's that feel? Yeah. That's what we're working on, that's the work we're doing. And even further, as far as that, I know, don't hurt yourself, don't. But that's where you want to be. You want to feel it. If you're not feeling it, there's no point. If you're not feeling it, what's the point? The whole point of you being here is we're working through it together. So, and giving you the tools to return home to do it. There you go. Beautiful. Yeah. Very nice. Whoa. Good. If you're giving me a dirty look, I'm doing my job. Yeah, and the other foot as well. Pull up the heel. Work that maximum stretch, you guys. Maximum stretch. Find your edge and go a little bit past it. We all want to play it safe. We all want security. We all want assurances. And that's understandable, but sometimes in a safe environment, you need to be able to push yourself. Yeah, what? So exactement. So you feel it? Only as far as you can. If it's do not hurt your knee. As far as you can open your hip, though, that's what we're here to do. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so are we there? Ça va? Or you got one more? Yeah, she's going to do the others. Oh, you already did it. Okay. Always better. Always a challenge. Okay, so last thing we're going to do, and then we're going to actually do the down lotus here, is, oh wow, we love this one, right? Okay, if you can't, yeah, chapeau? Chameau. Okay, so it can be like this, it can be like this, whatever it needs to be, it can be like this, okay? But really you want to bring your shoulders down and your heart up. Just open it up with the breath of fire. Just, yeah, blocks, use the blocks, that's fine. But you're lifting your heart and you're open with the breath of fire, By the nose, breath of fire. So. Doing great. Drop the head back, let the head go. Wherever you get to is fine, breathe. 30 more seconds, powerful breath. Ten seconds. And inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale, release, and come forward. Put your forehead on the floor. Get into child pose. Just feel comfortable. Okay, and roll up slowly. Okay, so I think we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, I feel ready. I feel ready. Okay, so the straps are great. Would you be kind enough to actually, Lila, will you grab me some straps? Just bring them to me first, and then if anyone needs them, they're there. That's perfect. So what we're going to do here is show you how these things, and all right, number one thing, you want to be supported. Obviously, you want to be supported. And again, this is so personal. Every body is different. Every person is different. So every day is different. There might be a day when you totally get into it, no problem, and then the next day you ate pizza and beer last night, poutine last night, and you're like, oh my God, I can't possibly do that pose today. Right? You'll know. You'll be like, oh geez, I shouldn't have had that extra pint, you know? So, again, the ideal is, and I'll let you know, I had a surgery on this knee a long time ago. I need to be careful. Like, the worst thing you could do is blow out your knee, right? And I know people who've done it, and they have like this, they're strong personalities, they're forceful characters, they push too hard too fast, and now that posture's not available to them because of an injury. Like it just, okay. So you don't want to force it. All the warm-up we did was very powerful. It was great. You could probably still do another hour or so, right? You know, we could be in a hot room doing hot yoga. That even opens you up more, right? So understand that about yourself. I recommend hot baths, you know, with Epsom salt, right? If you're sore after something, you know, sometimes it's a lot easier to stretch and open when the muscles are warm. So these are all techniques you could use to experiment with, to go deeper into this. What this is for is it's a way to, let's say, I can't quite get it. Right? Let's say I can't quite reach. So all I'm going to do is, and this is where I say improvise, my friends. Okay, fine. You see? Right? Okay, fine. And let's say, oh, that's where I'm getting. Here, will you slide your bolster forward? Okay. Right? You know what? If that's it, that's it. That's okay. Because you know what's going to happen? This is not a static universe. Gravity is going to take hold and you're going to settle, just like the floorboards in your mansion, right? You're going to settle. The foundation settles. So you put yourself here, but guess what? After a minute, that bolster might not feel, that's too high now. Now I want to go deeper. You know, now I've relaxed into it, right? Or sometimes it settles in the opposite way. So sometimes, and that's what the blankets are there. There's blankets and pillows and pads, every possible variation. I'm going to come around and assist you. Now it may be you get the one leg up, right? So we call this half lotus. Right? This is full lotus. Right? If you can do full lotus, great. If you're in half lotus, great. What's important here is that you connect with your breath, and then you bow, and you understand what it means when you bow. You're putting your head, your mind, your ego beneath your heart and your soul. Right? Your heart and your spirit are what you want to be on top. Now, for you, you would take the other block, grab that other block and put it in front of you. Right? So now you try that. Okay. That's totally legit. Can you all see what she's doing there? That's a great place to start. But I would say even, if you can do something with your, like this, because this becomes a lever for you to, this gives you some leeway and some room to move. If you're just on your elbows, that's great, but if you're here, you can get a little past your elbows, right? I want you to go to your edge of what's, sure, okay. I feel like you're about to go, what do they call that? What's that called where you're zip lining? I feel like you've got a zip line on this. Bungee jumping, zip line. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, so you don't necessarily, you could just grab your your elbows and go down. Okay, fantastic, beautiful. So wherever you get to, that's fine, and I just want you to breathe in that position. Whatever legs on top, that's great. I'm going to come around and assist you. There you go. Can you get it? You got it. Beautiful. That's it, yeah? And so here, we want to create a silent space for you to have the experience. I'll come around and adjust. If you need adjusting, I'm going to help you. The trick is being able to breathe. So your nose is in a position where you can actually, there you go, perfection. So if you can put your tongue against the roof of your mouth while you're down here, you'll be stimulating your pituitary gland. And that will take you deeper into your breath. You can adjust, and just lengthen and deepen your breath. Goes deep into the posture as you can. Feel your body open to the posture. Switch sides now. So if you had one leg over the other, or one leg in front, or one arm on top, I want you to switch it. Just to get a sense of what your body feels like on the other side. How are we doing? We okay? About? Okay. And you may find you can go deeper. C'est possible, on peut un peu plus. Allez. It's okay, it's okay. It's nice in the space though. We're going to set the space up on the other side now. touch the roof of your mouth. It will stimulate the pituitary gland. Yourself up and just gently come out of the posture very carefully. You don't want to hurt yourself. Come lying on your backs, please. Just very gently come back into your body. Begin rolling your hands and your feet, your fingers and your toes. And give yourself a nice little cat stretch. And the other way, that's good. Gently rock up on your spine. And come up to sitting when you're ready. Well, how was Bound Lotus? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a deep space, and it only, the more you go to it, the more you discover from it, and it's powerful. I credit it with everything. So many amazing lessons and opportunities have come to me through that practice. It's incredibly healing to enter that space for you and for your ancestors, for your descendants. That sense of timelessness that exists when you just disappear and connect with your breath, and you just keep it just keeps on giving. The more you go to it, the deeper you go into it. The deeper you go into it, the more you receive. The more you receive, the more you want to return. The more you want to return, the more you're able to go deeper. And it's a beautiful cycle of awareness and consciousness that comes from the practice. And then, added side benefit, it's your practice for life. So that when you come out of your practice, you're able to go into your daily life and just be more focused, more centered, more calm, more at peace. Even when the world is going crazy around you, you can be that eye of the storm and navigate the chaos, as it were, and help others do the same. You can be a lighthouse for them, a beacon in the storm. And your presence is really what grows with extended practice, the power of your presence. I know Yogi Bhajan even talks about it. Let's see, what does he say? He says, with the power of your presence, you can, I'm paraphrasing here, but with the power of your presence, you can heal others from that space. And you feel people that have presence, and the presence comes from the strength of your practice. The deeper your practice, the more presence you have, the more you're able to affect your environment, the people around you. So if you are sitting, you have the privilege to sit in the room with a great master or a great artist, you feel the power of their practice coming through in their presence. And that is what you can acquire through dedication to this. It's that powerful. And if nothing else, you're going to open your hips and your shoulders and just feel general health and well-being, vitality. So thank you all for trusting me and coming out and trying this, because it is not, it's not an everyday thing, but it is special, and it has the power to really make a difference if you can incorporate it into your world. Try it for 10 days, try it for 40 days, try it for 100 days. And each time, watch how much closer you get to, perfecting the practice. You just constantly, okay, today I could have, both legs in lotus and grab one toe. Fantastic, like victory, right? And then, you do it again, and then like in a week, wow, I'm grabbing both toes and I'm just bending down to here, like it's super gradual, but you'll see it. And again, try the hot baths, try, get hold of the book. I bought this book online today. I had a physical copy. I have no idea where it is, but I wanted to get the book to be able to bring it in. And, it's on Kindle for $10. American, I don't know. Yeah, but it's a lovely book. I think they still sell physical copies, but they're much more expensive and probably harder to get hold of. I think they're like $40, and then you have to ship it here. So if you can do Kindle and read it on your computer or your iPad, I think you'll, for $10, hell yeah, it's a great book. Totally recommend.
What's the title?
Bound Lotus, or Ma Bound Lotus, I believe is what she calls it. I'm gonna just, when any posture is held over time, the universe comes to support that person. So that's Yogi Bhajan. Call on your angels. They'll be there for you. They're always there. The yogis who practice this here's a sales pitch. The yogis who practiced this thousands of years ago lived to be over 120 years old without any illness or disease. I mean, I'm not saying I want to stick around to be 120, but if it's an option, sure, why not? I'll consider it. Anyway, I'll show you a picture of the, see, like I was saying, he is not practicing it with his shirt on, okay? He's right? Yoga is yoga. Practice it any way you feel most comfortable, because that'll take you there. And that's what you're looking for. This is Mahan Kiran, who wrote this book. Amazon, like I said, the Kindle version for $10. Before we close out, I'm wondering if anyone would like to share any part of their experience, anything that happened in the posture, what it felt like switching, was one side easier than the other, or was it? Or do you have any questions about the supporting yourself? Did you feel supported in the physical posture? Did anything happen in your body that you wanted to ask about? I'll be here afterwards. We can have that discussion individually too. That's totally cool. Okay, you guys are just bliss. I'm just gonna let's close with the long time sun then. Hands in prayer pose. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Oh wait, where's my French version? It's okay. It's okay. All right, we'll try it in English too. All right, I'll work on that for tonight. Come back to the concert for the French version. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. On and on. So grateful for the infinite gathering us together. Beautiful, blessed. May we carry this light with us wherever we go and shine it for all to see. Satnam. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Karen Jo, for hosting us. And come back this evening and we'll chant together. It'll be a lot of fun. What I do.
Thank you, Harnam, from so far to be with us. Thank you very, very much for bringing all that blessing energy here.
It's my pleasure.
Et vous tous, invitez tous vos amis ce soir, parlez-en, allez chercher votre gang, revenez tantôt, qu'on soit plusieurs à avoir la bénédiction de cette soirée. À 7 heures.
7 heures. C'est ça. Okay, merci. You did great, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, you did this really good. I'm totally impressed. Watch, I'll come back in a year, you guys will all be doing down LOTUS. Let's do this.